So welcome to a new tutorial on scripting for Vegas Pro. In this tutorial I will be teaching you about moving, extending and splitting track events. First I want to talk about the ways you can move things in Vegas itself. You can drag a track to move it on the timeline. You can extend or crop the edges and you can split a track and delete one half. Now the problem is that these don't directly correspond to the tools the API gives you. So for splitting you can use the split function, but for both extending, cropping and moving you need to use the adjust start length function. Just for this demonstration I will be using this project, which has two of the same videos on two different tracks. The one at the top on track 1 is in black and white and the one in the bottom is in original color. And all functions will be applied to the track on top, so you can see how it has changed compared to the version in color. So here we are in Vegas. This is roughly the project from the fading tutorial, so it has the function that can get the selected events. And we'll be using this to get the first selected event, which will be the black and white track event. So we'll be going over moving a track event first. So here we are in the scripting API. This is the track event class, and as you can see it has this boolean adjust takes, which defines whether or not you want to change the edges of the track event. So here we are again in Vegas. We are going to use the track event.adjust start length function. We want to give it a new starting position and the original length. So we go track event dot length, and we do not want to adjust the edges, so we keep that at false. Now we need to define the new start. So timecode new start equals the original start track event dot start plus say 1 second, so timecode dot from seconds 1. So let's run it. As you can see, the upper track event has now moved to the right 1 second and is still the same length. And if we play this, you can see the videos are no longer synchronous. So I've now commented the moving part, and we're going to extend the track event at the front. I'm going to copy the new start, because if we want to extend it, the starting time needs to move. We want to start it earlier than the original start, so the track event.start minus timecode from seconds 1. And now we do the same function, track event adjust start length, give it a new start. And now obviously the length has also changed because we have made it 1 second longer. So we need to make a new timecode new length. And we take the original length and add 1 second. So we take the new length, put it in the adjust start length function, and because we are extending it, we need to set the adjust takes boolean to true. So I moved the top track event to the right so we can extend it at the front, and it has now extended 1 second, as you can see, and it is still synchronous with the original video. Next we are extending at the back. The starting time is still the same, but it is longer now, so we need to give it a new length, and we keep the original start in the adjust start length function. I am not going to demonstrate this one. Next we're going to crop at the front the start and the length change. The new start variable needs to start 1 second later this time, so I'm going to copy the original and add 1 second. The length is now 1 second shorter than the original because it starts a second later. And let's run it. As you can see, it is now 1 second shorter, it started a second later, and it is still synchronous with the original video. For cropping something at the end, we again use the same function, and we don't need to change the start. It will only need a shorter length, and it starts at the same time, so TrackEvent. I'm also not going to demonstrate this. The last thing I'm going to show is splitting a track event. Here in the API you can see the function. It returns a track event. So obviously when you split a track event, you want to do something with either the new track event at the left or the track event at the right. Well, the original track event is the one on the left, and the track event it returns is the one on the right. It takes an offset argument, which is the position where you want to split the track, but relative to the start. We take the returning track event, call it track event 2, and we do track event dot split, and we want to split it at 5 seconds from the start. Track event dot start plus timecode dot from seconds 5. So in this case, track event 2 is the new track event that is on the right of the split, and track event is the original that is on the left of the split. And just to demonstrate this, I'm going to give track event 2 a fade out. So run the script and it should split the track at 5 seconds. There it did, and it gave the second one a fade out of 5 seconds. So that was all for this video. I hope you learned something new. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue the series much further because we've now covered all the basics. But if there's something specific that you would like to ask, you can always leave a comment and I might just make an episode on that specific thing. So thank you for watching.